What's up, guys? PDC here, and I'm back. If you guys haven't noticed, I've been absent from my channel for like 2 weeks or more practically. And the reason is because I was sick for about a week, and my SPL game from I think it was week 7, the replay just got destroyed. For some reason, I'm not destroyed. The replay is still technically up, but the replay is corrupted, so I can't watch past turn 3. So with being sick and having lack of content, I guess I could have ladder, but I don't want to put too much of that stuff up since it gets kind of boring. I kind of took a little break, but I'm back now. I'm back to a regular uploading schedule. This is my week 8 game of Smogon Premier League. Versus Inflikted. I'm just going to go right to the teams. I'm going to be using a balanced sand team. Wow, big surprise, PDC, using a fucking balanced sand team. I can't believe it. Who would have thought? Using a balanced team with Clefable. But, it looks like a black and white team. It really does. The only thing that makes it not look like black and white is Clefable. Like, I could literally put, something like, I don't know, a water type, like Gastrodon, over Clefable, and this would be a black and white team. Easy. Or Gengar, actually, too. But regardless, it's a pretty cool balanced sand team, very similar to one Marth used a few weeks before, only instead of Uniclus, I'm using my signature Life Orb Alakazam, which does a lot of work versus this guy's team. I can just judge by team preview, it looks like it does a lot. Considering, looks like Scarftar is his fastest Pokemon, if that is indeed a Scarf Tyranitar, which judging by his team with Landorus and Thundurus, it probably is. So it's definitely going to do a lot of work, and if I get some extra residual damage and hazards up on the field, I think it's going to be a huge Pokemon player in this game. While Inflikted is running a typical slower balance breaker team, which I guess he expected me to bring balance, but I guess not this type of balance. He expected me more to bring something that's, I guess, slower or, I guess, more susceptible to Landorus, and Thundurus, which my team is. Landorus does quite a bit if he manages to pursue Trap Latias, which is a problem, but you'll see how I deal with these Pokemon later. His team is kind of odd, I guess, that has a Skarmory and Slowbro. Altaria seems like it fits well enough, as it gives it, I guess, an extra set of resistances. But Skarmory, I don't know why he had Skarmory here, to be perfectly honest. I guess he was going for extra hazards, something like that. And the Slowbro is the obligatory ground counter, I guess, for something like Excadrill or fighting types, and you guys know the drill with that. So both relatively more balanced teams, I guess you could say. And we're going to go ahead and start the game off. I'm going to be leading with my Set Yourself on Fire, a great CBB quote. And he's going to be leading up with Conflict's Wrath. I go over to Protect turn 1, which really does not accomplish anything but Scout. Honestly, this was a bad play. I just did this because I was a little nervous. I just made a quick Panic Protect, and I switch out and go into my Latias immediately. Now, my Latias is bulky enough to easily tank anything this Landorus Eye throws at it, especially when I Mega, so this Landorus Eye is not a problem at all, as long as I manage to keep Latias alive, not pursued. Now, he's going to go ahead and go for an Earth Power here as I go for the HP Fighting, predicting the T-Tar. Now, I guess, knowing me, he predicted me to double out, but that turn really does not accomplish much, but as you will see, that does help me a little bit later on in the game. I actually got that extra 10 or 11% on him. He's going to go out to his Skarmory here, and I just go over to HP Fighting again. I do not want to reveal that I do have a secret move, which could come in handy later, but who really knows? It probably really wouldn't have done that much anyway. I go out to my Heatran here, which obviously does not have Stealth Rock, so I'm not going to get the opportunity to set up hazards here, but I do have Toxic on my side, so I'm just going to go ahead instead and throw out a random Toxic out there. I'm probably either going to hit something like Altaria, Landorus, or Slowbro, so it's really a win-win for me. And Spikes, they're annoying, but they don't bother my team that much, with my 2 Magic Guard users and a Levitator. So I'm really not that concerned, and most of my team can handle Spikes relatively well and has a reliable way of healing. I'm going to go out to my Clefable here as he doubles out, which is a good play on his part, to his Landorus. Now, right here, this guy fucked up. I realized as soon as I saw that damage roll that he was actually not Sheer Force, but he was Sand Force. And I just was like, oh my god, that must suck horribly for him that he's fucking Sand Force, because Sheer Force did not actually KO me regardless, even if he was modest, so I guess that was kind of security blanket, but still, man, that really fucking sucks how he was Sand Force and not Sheer Force, because that could have gotten extra damage off the Clefable, which would have helped him definitely. But the Landers dies to my Ice Beam. Like I said, Ice Beam Clefable is a boss. It kills and lures SD Gliscor. It kills and lures Landers Eye. It's just such a great Pokemon. But now maybe you'll see some more usage now, because Ice Beam Clefable actually would have won a couple people this week, their SPL games. But my fairy user, a dragon user, if you guys know who he is, Varun, I misspelled his name according to CPC. But Ice Beam is just going to go ahead and kill the Lander's Eye. And he goes out there with Skarmory. And it actually has Iron Head. And it crits me, which is bad. Because I did live that crit, as a matter of fact. I did live it with at the minimum of 1%. So that crit did matter. CBB asked me why I stayed in. And I told him because I live regardless. But in reality, I guess I could have just switched out. That probably would have been a much better play. Saving Clefable would have been much better. But he's going to go ahead and set up a second layer of spikes, and I just want to get my Stealth Rocks up, which is going to be really good for me, as he has stuff like Thundurus and Altaria, which really are not going to like the hazards on their side of the field. I'm going to go out to my Set Yourself on Fire, the Heatran, and he's going to go ahead and set up a full layer of spikes. Now, at this point, I was kind of worried, because 3 layers of spikes is pretty annoying, but I think I have a decent enough advantage in the game where I don't need to be that incredibly worried that there are that many hazards on the field. Because I have something like Alakazam, which looks like it's setting up for a cleanup real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and Lava Plume this Slowbro here. He's going to be taking quite a bit of damage from the Sand and the Toxic and a little bit of damage from that Chip Lava Plume. I go for the Protect here. He could have Slack-offed, but instead he goes straight for the Scald, which I do get the Protect on. So now Heatran is back up at full HP, and that Slowbro it's essentially dead, really. Well, not essentially dead. That's a stupid comment. The Slowbro is just getting weakened, essentially. That's really all I meant to say. I go for the Taunt here, predicting him to go for the Slack Off, which he does go for. Actually, no, he goes for the Thunder Wave, which I guess he's trying to paralyze this. I don't think there was another play. I realized I could take a Scald, so I figured there was no reason to not taunting. If he switches out, you know, taunting something like Altaria is never a bad thing, so it can't Roost and it can't Dragon Dance. But I'm going to go for a Lava Plume again here. I realized that he was going to either switch and force the Regenerator, and Lava Plume could get a burn or something like that, and he really didn't have that many Lava Plume switches that like the burn. Altaria, although it has Natural Cure, that does hinder it quite a bit, especially if it is using Earthquake. I'm just going to go out to my Ferrothorn here, and he goes for the Dragon Dance, which I'm not sure how much I agree with. I mean, I guess he really did not have that much of an option regardless, because at this point, you know, it looks like the game's kind of a wrap. He's going to switch out as soon as I bring my Ferrothorn in, and he's gonna go out to his Skarmory here, and I just decided to go ahead and fire up a Leech Seed and heal up, since there's really no point in not going for it. The Leech Seed is obviously good. I realize that this Skarmory lacks Taunt, so he really cannot touch my Ferrothorn, and I can just get off a Leech Seed as much as I want. I go ahead and I switch up to my Alakazam here, Quavo the Magician, shout out K's Victory, Base God, and he whirlwinds it out. Really doesn't matter to me since, you know, I have Magic Guard, not like I'm taking any damage from that anyway. And he just brings out another Levitator, which is my Latias. So I'm not taking any damage from his spikes here, and if anything, this is just hurting him more than it's hurting me. I switch out and go out to my Quavo the Magician, once again, my Alakazam, and he double switches out, or he just flat out switches out, and he goes into his Slowbro. I guess he figured he would be able to heal up on my Latias there, which was a smart enough play. Keeping Slowbro healthy would have been important. But this Slowbro, I realized, I think I got it from the calc, that he had a little special defense, so I was kind of worried about Shadow Balling here. But I just decided to go for it, and as you will see, I do get the kill. I was really worried if that would kill or not, but it does end up killing, so that was really good for me. And this is the start of the ending. He goes into his Tyranitar, and as soon as I saw this, two things popped in my head. Either that is not Prankster Thundurus, or this is a Chople Berry Tyranitar. Realizing how unlikely it was that this was Chople Berry Tyranitar, I just decided to go for the Focus Blast straight up, and I do end up getting the kill. And at this point, it's a pretty clean-cut game. Alakazam is looking like it's going to sweep this guy pretty easily, as I do with the Focus Blast. He's not going out to his Thundurus, so that it really just confirmed my belief that that is no way Prankster Thundurus. I go for a Shadow Ball, as it's obvious that's going to be able to kill the barely invested in special defense, if invested at all, Skarmory. And he goes into his Thundurus here, which, like I said, there is no way that this thing is Prankster, and even if it is, he's probably just going to die to a Psychic, and I can beat Altaria with Gyro Ball. So this is the game, and it was a pretty quick game, honestly. It really was. I think Inflikted kind of played a little bad. Not really a little bad. I would just say I think he just had a bad team advantage. He didn't really play bad, aside from the fucking up the ability on the Landorus and maybe making the wrong play here or there, but regardless, that was a pretty good game, and this does get me my 7-1 record, so as of right now, I am tied for, actually no, I'm tied for number 2 slot, because Ginku is now 8-1, because he went out and won, because Ginku's a god. But this puts me at the number 2 slot for, best player record in SPL, so this is a big up from last season. I'm really excited. I was 1-3 last season, benched the rest of the season after mid-season, and now I'm 7-1, and our team is 100% in guaranteed playoffs. So I think that's a really good change from last year, if I do say so myself. And I'm winning all over the place, and I'm also tied for number 1 seed in ORAS OU. So we'll see how this rest of the season plays out. Hopefully we can come home with a win. But regardless, it was a pretty fun season, and I really learned a bit of a thing or two when it comes to playing in tournaments, I gotta say. I think after this season, I'm definitely going to be a little more confident in myself in playing games. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. My game with Stathakis will probably be on Sunday, so if you want to watch that live, you can check it out. And once again, PDC brings balance. Big shocker. But thank you all for watching. More videos coming soon. I uploaded on the Smogon University channel if you want to check that out. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Please subscribe, and no, I'm not quitting. I'm not quitting. I'm not quitting. And I'm out. So I'll see you guys on the next one.